Alright, boys and girls, today we're going to do a how-to video with a mouth call. And we'll get into how to do the yelp, but first we're just going to talk about how to use a mouth call. And I'm out here hunting and it's dead. It's been a pretty rough year, but anyway. So, mouth call. Alright, every mouth call has tape on the outside. All it is it's athletic tape. Then it's got a metal frame or aluminum frame in the middle. And the frame is what holds the reeds together. And you stretch the latex, this right here. You stretch it, get a certain tension on it, and then you crimp down that frame to lock it in. And that's a mouth call. And then you get into all your cuts. This one's a cut. It's like an offset bat wing. And your cuts are really what determines your sound. Your tension, your cut, and the amount of reeds you have. It's really the ultimate factors that make a call sound the way it sounds. I mean, we're not going to get into latex thickness and all that stuff. But, alright, mouth call. How do you use one? Okay. Alright. Basically, just reverse this camera and do exactly like this. You want that tape to go in first. The tape always goes in first. Your reeds, they point out of your mouth. And like this is your tongue. You want the call to go about halfway right there on your tongue. And then you bring your tongue up, put a little pressure on the call, put it on the roof of your mouth, put pressure on it with your tongue, and that's how you get sound. You blow air out. Another thing, you want to make sure the call is never upside down. Most of the time, your frame up under that tape is going to have a bump. I don't know if you can see it really good on the camera, but it's going to have a bump on the bottom. Your top reed is usually going to always hang over the other reeds that are in the call. So that top reed, the reed that's hanging over, that one goes on the top. Always goes on top. You'll know if it's upside down most of the time because it'll just be really high and squeaky and you won't be able to get any other sound out of it. So what you want to do, we'll get into using one. You put it in there, halfway back of your tongue, and really I leave mine stuck to the roof of my mouth. Like right now, it's on the roof of my mouth. And there's really like a pocket. I mean, everybody's mouth and their roof is different, but you got a pocket up there, and that call, it'll fit perfectly in there. And if it don't, and if you've got some of this tape right here, if it's like too wide or whatever, and it's touching your teeth, then you need to trim the tape. But you want to, you can always trim that tape, but you want to trim just a little bit at a time. Just trim a hair at a time until you get that size just right for it to fit on the roof of your mouth. And as long as it's not touching your teeth on the inside, or even if it is, as long as it's comfortable, that's what you want to get. So we'll do a yelp. Alright, but first what you want to do is you want to get a sound out of your call. So you just put the call in and practice blowing air out. Try to get a sound from it. Alright, now that you have a sound, what you want to do, and a lot of people, I think this is the thing people struggle with the most that I teach doing the calls. You have to blow air out like you're fogging up a window. It's that simple. You huff air, you don't blow air. So when you got that call in, you don't go You don't do that. You go, I mean, just like when you was on the school bus or in the car, you blow air, you fog that window up and you'd write words on it. That's how you blow air out. You, because you want the air to go from your diaphragm. You want it to come from within. You don't want it to be air that you don't. That's not it. You want it. You want all the air to come from within, come from your stomach, your chest, everything. You want it to all come out. Now, once you get that going, that's what you have to practice. Practice. Make sure I ain't no turkey out there. But practice blowing with the call, blowing air that way. You want to practice huffing air. You have to huff the air. That's what really gets you that high front end on the yelp. And I'm trying to teach you how to be as realistic as possible. Granted, you don't have to be a professional turkey caller to call up turkeys. Everybody can call up a turkey. But the more realistic you are, the better you're gonna be at calling in a turkey in the long run. So, what you want to do, and by the way, being realistic is not necessarily how good you sound. It's knowing turkey language, and that's a whole nother episode. That is what really adds to realism. Anyway, all right, we'll get a yelp going. With a yelp, you want to do high, low, and just picture my hand as a turkey's. It's a turkey's head. Right here's her mouth. So when a turkey yelps, she starts here and she ends here. So when she yelps, she's going hap, 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 hap. And basically, that's exactly the form that I use when I go to yelp on a mouth call. And what you want to do to get the high-low, find that sweet spot on that call. You want to find the sweet spot to get that high pitch. And when you do this by using tongue pressure, moving the call around, you can kind of move it left to right on the roof of your mouth just a touch. Change tongue pressures. But that's the key. You have to find that high front end. And don't even worry about trying to do a yelp at this point. Just try to find that high note. As you can see, you could hear that high note in there. There's a little bit of rasp in it, but with this call, and that's just the way I call with this one in particular, it just has that. It's a really tough call to get that high front end, but every call has them. But with this call, as soon as I push that air on out, it forms that high note. So once you get that high note, then you want to work on getting that low note. Hang on. Reed flip. And then, once you do that, you just speed it up and turn it into a yelp. If you notice, this call is a little bit high pitched. It's not a real deep, hollow, raspy call. But if you notice, every yelp that I do my whole body moves. And if you watch a turkey, a hen, she does the same thing. Her tail feathers and everything, her whole body's moving. So let's do it again. When you just get that, you got to find that high note. You want to try not to have any rasp in it, but this call is a little bit difficult. It actually really works once I get into the yelp. But you got that high note, then you work on getting the low note and putting them together. And then the biggest thing is with using a mouth call, I think the biggest thing is huffing the air. That's the biggest thing. You have to so that's what you got to do. And a lot of the form of that yelp is going to come from your jaw. So you have to use your jaw, and a lot of times, especially if the camera gets really close, you can probably hear it in this video, a lot of times you can hear my lips going. But, I mean, of course you're not going to hear it from 5 yards away, but that's just me closing my mouth. I'm not trying to pop my lips, I'm just closing my mouth to cut the sound off. Like, you see how my jaw's moving, and that's what you've got to practice. So, hope that helps y'all. I know it's kind of a long video, but I wanted to make sure I touched all the bases. And I mean, I know that's learning how to use a mouth call. I know that's a big thing for everybody. You know, a lot of people want to do it, and I'm more than happy to try to help anybody. And the biggest thing that I can say, I mean, some people, they might get it and they can pretty much be decent with a call and learn and know to yelp and all that stuff. And we'll do more how-tos from here on out. We're going to do some more and do some new ones and update them. But I just wanted to help everybody kind of make a new one. And with those calls, you have to practice. To me, that's the biggest thing. You have to practice. You have to practice. If you want to be good, or if you want to think that you're a really good caller, or if you want to go out there and you want to sound like Scott Ellis or Matt Van Sice or Jesse Martin or Dave Owens or Ryan Greathouse, I mean, if you want to sound like anybody, you have to do what they're doing. You have to practice. And those guys, especially those guys, not me. I mean, I should practice way more than I do. But those guys practice almost every day of their life, and that's why they're that good. And that's what it takes. You have to practice. You can't get discouraged. Put a call in, try it for a week, and wonder, man, why can't I sound like you, or why can't I sound like him? It's because that guy's been doing it for 20, 30 years, and he's been doing it every day. So practice, 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 practice. That's the only thing I could tell you. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Y'all get out there, practice, use your calls, go call up a turkey, shoot one in the face. It's turkey season 2019. It's a great time. I've had a tough year, but anyway, y'all go check out YouTube, Strut South TV. Y'all go wow. I'm just gonna leave it in there. Y'all go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go like us on Facebook. Get on there. We got a giveaway going on right now. We're giving away an Alps Grand Slam turkey vest. Y'all go check it out. We got a lot of good things going. We're uploading videos as soon as we can get them uploaded. Trying to, you know, give y'all hunts that are worth watching. We're gonna put some on there that we don't even succeed at, and we don't even hear a turkey gobble. But y'all go on there, like, subscribe, share, comment, post. Instagram, check us out on there. Good luck.